Kenny Kelly was a normal boy in most ways. He loved video games, pizza, and hanging out with his friends. But Kenny had a secret. He was allergic to gasoline. This wasn't just a sniffle and a sneeze. This was serious. Being near gasoline made Kenny very sick. Kenny's allergy was tough. It meant he couldn't be around most cars. It made trips to the gas station a nightmare. Worst of all, the medicine to help Kenny was really expensive. It cost so much that it was hard for Kenny's family to afford. Kenny wished things could be different. He wished he could ride in his friends' cars without worrying. He wished his family didn't have to stress about the cost of his medicine. Most of all, Kenny wished for a day when his allergy wouldn't feel like such a big deal. One day Kenny's parents came home very excited. They had been talking about a solution to their problem. They had found a way to help Kenny and save money on his medicine. They decided to buy a Tesla. A Tesla is a special kind of car. It doesn't use gasoline at all. Instead, it runs on electricity. This meant Kenny could finally ride in a car without getting sick. The Tesla was expensive, but Kenny's parents found a way to make it work. They decided to finance the car. Financing the Tesla meant they would pay for it a little bit each month. Even though they had to make payments, it was still cheaper than buying Kenny's medicine all the time. Kenny was so happy. He couldn't believe his family had found a way to make this work. 2 years passed. Kenny loved riding in the Tesla. He didn't have to worry about his allergy, and he loved how fast the car could go. But then, Kenny's parents made another big decision. They decided to sell the Tesla. Kenny was confused. Why would they sell the car that helped him so much? His parents explained that even though the Tesla was cheaper than the medicine, it was still a lot of money each month. They had found a buyer who was willing to pay a good price for the car. This meant they could pay off the rest of what they owed on the car. This would give them more money each month. Kenny was sad to see the Tesla go, but he understood why his parents made this choice. There was good news though. Kenny's parents promised him they would buy a new Tesla. This time they would buy it without financing. That meant they would pay for the entire car at once. It also meant Kenny had to wait a little bit longer. Kenny's parents wanted to wait until spring to buy the new car. They lived in Maine, and winters there were snowy and icy. They wanted to buy a Tesla with all-wheel drive, which would be safer to drive in the snow. This meant Kenny had to wait 3 more months. Waiting was hard, but Kenny knew it would be worth it. He dreamed of the day he would finally get to ride in his new Tesla. He imagined the smooth, quiet rides and the feeling of the wind in his hair, with the windows down, of course. Kenny knew that good things come to those who wait. He was determined to make the most of his new ride when it finally arrived.